Alhamdulillah, I've already raised £23,000 with your help for Sudan. I'm sure you've heard by now, a lot of bloodshed happening in Sudan. They need our help. They need our assistance. I'm going to leave the link in the description. 100% donation policy. Make sure you guys donate. Assalamu alaikum guys, and welcome to another episode of Smile to Jannah. Frankly, when I saw this, I thought, you know what? It's in everyone's face. And this is the same president that came onto his seat saying, I don't want to do wars. Yeah, frankly, wars have not been helpful. I want to be the president of peace. To such a degree, let's see the president of peace over here. He received the FIFA Peace Prize. Let's see.
Let me hold. Fantastic. Excellent. Let me hold.
you can hear the FIFA president going, let me hold. Trump has been after recognition for his quote-unquote peace efforts. Yeah, this guy wants the Nobel Peace Prize. He's got the FIFA Peace Prize, which I didn't even think FIFA was in that business. They're a football governing body. What have they got to do with peace or no peace? He's asked, do you have a New Year's resolution? We want to hear this. Yeah, we want to hear this.
I have. Peace on earth. Peace on earth. You can come in if you like.
He said it like 3 times. Peace. Did you guys get that? Peace on earth. And once for good luck, peace on earth. Okay, fantastic. This was a short while before this. After America bombed Venezuela and extracted the president and his wife. Yes, a democratically elected president. And Trump did this without congressional approval. Now those people that still think, nah, Zishan, come on, give the guy a break. Now they've got something called, or they'd had something called the Department of Defense. Ever since you can remember, yeah? Defense, defense, defense. Even though they've got military bases flipping everywhere, hey, you guys can see, America has 750 bases in at least 80 countries. That's 173,000 troops deployed in 159 countries. So this country of defense has now made it a bit more obvious. They've changed it to Department of War, yeah, which is more proactive rather than passive. So I typed in most oil reserves in the world. What did I get? Venezuela. Okay. Now this Donald Trump, the president of peace, the one who wants the Nobel Peace Prize, the one that got the FIFA Peace Prize, which don't know if that counts for anything. So this Donald Trump is 2026 now, yeah? So last year, he bombed 7 countries. Let's have a look. Venezuela, Syria, Iraq, Iran, Nigeria, Yemen, and Somalia. Now let's have a look over here. Other than Venezuela, these countries are majority Muslim countries. Is it any wonder now that people are complaining about migration from these countries? I don't understand how stupid you gotta be if you bomb countries and then moan when their people wanna move somewhere else where there's peace. They're not gonna go to other countries that you also are bombing. I don't know if I'm getting through to some of these people. Now, back in our days, we had the war in Iraq, yeah? And they pretended that they were weapons of mass destruction, chemical warfare, biological warfare, missiles that could reach the United States. They had to orchestrate and create those pretenses before they bombed the crap out of it. And then afterwards, took them a while to admit that it was because of oil. Now, however, it seems like they just can't be bothered to come up with that whole elaborate story, because most people are on Netflix nodding their head to the next Taylor Swift song, or just getting pissed out of their brains at the local pub. So that's how it is, ladies and gentlemen.
The U.S. military having a presence in Venezuela as the U.S. runs that
Well,
country.
no, we're going to have a presence in Venezuela as it pertains to oil, because we have to have...
So the presence in Venezuela, you're going to have the presence... Yeah, we're going to have the presence in terms of oil. Is this thing working? Or oil... Hello? The guy, he doesn't give a toss. And why would he?
We're sending our expertise in, so you may need something, not very much. But no, we're going to be taking out a tremendous amount of wealth out of the ground, and that wealth is going to the people of Venezuela. And
Are you going to be helping the country, liberating it? We're going to be taking a lot of wealth, yeah, from the ground. So he said he's going to give it to the people. Okay, fantastic. Yeah. At least the lie can be bought and digested, yeah? We're taking the wealth, giving it to the people. Great. End it there.
people from outside of Venezuela that
People from outside Venezuela. Why? Why are you giving it to them?
used to be in Venezuela.
Used to be in Venezuela. Who's that? How are you going to get oil to them? Okay.
And it goes also to the United States of America in the form of
Which I think done Venezuela, people in Venezuela, people of Venezuela, outside Venezuela, and there was somebody else. The United States of America.
reimbursement for the damages caused us by that country. So I want
Yeah, you damaged us by forcing us to go in there, depose your president, extract him. That took a lot of manpower. Yeah? We're going to need a lot of oil. That's what I'm saying.
as everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela.
Everyone knows the oil business in Venezuela.
Everyone knows the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust, for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping.
So what? What's that got to do with you? You know what I mean? It's their business. It's their country.
We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure.
You guys missed that. So he's reading off the script, yeah? Gonna go in there, fix the infrastructure. You're like, okay, they're gonna fix the bridges, they're gonna build schools, the roads, there's the healthcare system. Oh my God. Thank you, America. But he clarifies.
The badly broken infrastructure.
He's gonna go off script now for the doofuses that don't understand. He wants to get it clear to the people. What infrastructure? He's going to look up.
The oil infrastructure.
The oil infrastructure. Don't be thinking man's going to be over there making bridges. Is this thing on? Oil? Okay.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country.
In other words, we're going to take the country over. We're going to install a vassal leader that will say yes to everything that we say. Otherwise, there's not really much point letting them democratically elect their leader, because he might just be another Maduro. Sheesh.
Until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition.
He really exerted himself when he said judicious.
And judicious.
Judicious oil. So this was very interesting. I did say Jon Stewart, it's not a very good quality video, but Jon Stewart is saying they are literally using the same script side by side. Let's have a look.
We're giving them full opportunity to do it the easy way.
This is Iraq, yeah?
When it doesn't work, we'll do it the hard way.
If we can do things the easy way, that's fine. And if we have to do it the hard way, that's fine too.
Chemical weapons is a threat to the United States.
Fentanyl poses a chemical weapons threat to the United States.
Same thing. Now, Al-Qaeda, that was their main enemy, yeah? Surely they can't involve Al-Qaeda over here.
Al-Qaeda terrorists inside Iraq. Al-Qaeda of our hemisphere.
We can get rid
Do you see? They still managed to somehow bring Al-Qaeda here as well. My God.
we can get rid of Saddam. It could really begin to transform the region.
There's an opportunity to transform the entire region.
Bringing freedom and democracy.
Democracy and freedom can serve as a beacon
Still,
of hope.
Shock and awe.
still, ladies and gentlemen, they haven't even changed the script. The only thing they've changed is the name of the country that they're invading. Now, this was quite interesting. Yeah, the reporter said, you said Maduro is responsible for drug trafficking. You recently pardoned the former president of Honduras, convicted of drug trafficking. But he's an ally, though. You guys don't understand. Forget human rights and all of this nonsense. It's because he's not friendly to us. He doesn't listen to us. It's human rights, nonsense, sort of smoke screen that are there for doofuses.
You said that Maduro is responsible for drug trafficking. You recently pardoned the former president of Honduras who was convicted of many drug trafficking. Can you explain how these two situations are different?
Respect to this guy. Next in line is Colombia, Chile, Greenland, and Iran. So much for President of Peace, ladies and gentlemen. Now listen to this bit, yeah?
The world would be better off with Saddam Hussein
100%.
and Gaddafi in power.
100%. Now, as far as
Saddam and Gaddafi, according to the West, were dictators, yeah? And Trump is saying, it's fine, it's cool, man, it's cool. Why? Because Gaddafi and Saddam were acquiescing to the West and they were friendly. When they didn't, they became the enemy. Doesn't matter if you're a dictator. Doesn't matter if you're nuking your own people, as we're seeing in Israel.
Assad is concerned.
What about the human rights abuses?
Let's talk. Well, you don't think they're happening now? They're worse now than they ever were. People are getting their heads chopped off. They're being drowned. Right now, they're far worse than they were ever under Saddam Hussein or Gaddafi. And it all blew up.
If that's the pretense for you to invade because of human rights abuses, what about Israel? Yeah, 70,000 people that they've killed, but because they're an ally, it's okay. Swings and sausages. Not even swings and roundabouts.
Obama. It all blew up. Now, one thing about Assad.
Now, this is what Maduro was saying, yeah? Maduro goes, attention Americans and Europeans. After Zionists finish with Muslims and Palestinians, they will come after us Catholic Christians. And that's the bottom line. Because the headlines now are to do with Colombia, are to do with Chile, are to do with Greenland and Iran. These countries have been announced clearly. Today, they're now talking about Greenland, yeah, which is ruled by Denmark. It's part of Denmark. However, strategically, America wants Greenland. Why? Because it's very rich in minerals and it's going to be a very good counterweight against Russia and China. However, they're saying because Greenland is part of NATO, the NATO alliance, you know, the bloc of European countries that if one is attacked, they take it as if all of them are attacked. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what happens over there, because that's what's up. They're running out of Muslims to fight. Then what happens with all of that military, the military industrial complex, where it just withers away like Voldemort? No, ladies and gentlemen, it requires another enemy, and it doesn't necessarily have to be Muslim. Now the racists and supremacists, I'm gonna narrate it, yeah. Racists and supremacists of Zionism today want to wipe out the Palestinian people. What's more, they want to finish with all Arab people, to finish with all the Muslim people. They have sown an ideology of hate, of plundering raids. They have been sowing it for 75 years with the support of the West. Attention, good world that is hearing me. Attention, men and women of the United States, Europe, and the world. They have sown an ideology more dangerous than Nazism. Fight against the Palestinian people, plundering raids, extermination, genocide, atomic bombs. Next, it will be against all Arab people, all Muslim people. Then they'll come for Christians. Catholics, let's stop the genocide in time. We must stop the Zionist genocide against the beloved Palestinian people. So any wonder they came after this guy. Yeah, I just want to show this. So this is Tommy Robinson objectifying Venezuelan women. He goes, can we give Venezuelan women top priority for refugee status, please? I thought you wanted to put Britain first. I thought you were against all this stuff. Why the women? I'd let Tommy answer that. This was a very interesting point.
Countries and kidnap the president. It doesn't matter how awful he is. It doesn't matter whether or not he tortures kittens or pulls the wings off butterflies. It does not. None of it matters. You just don't do it. You don't caveat your support for international law by saying, well, you know, this time, you know, well, the guy they broke international law for, he was a bit of a wrong. That's not how law works.
This woman is the one that they want to replace him with.
Woman who's taking over Venezuela. Not only is she pro-Israeli, she's pro-Likud. She signed a cooperation deal in 2020 with Netanyahu's Likud party. She fully supports Netanyahu's war on Gaza. Is this why we're seeing the bomb?
Yeah, what did she get? She just won the Nobel Peace Prize. What? That just shows. And then she's justifying what Israel is doing. That's pure and utter contradictory.
Does America have the right to take over Greenland? The short answer, no. Greenland is the world's largest island, strategically positioned in the Arctic and full of natural resources. Its future is back in the news following the US seizure of Venezuela's president, Nicolas Maduro.
Look at even the language.
Does America have the right to take over Greenland?
Take over. The word is invade. Illegally occupy. BBC, useless. And let's look at this Christian pastor who says God wanted Venezuela's oil. I'm telling you, never again can these people make the jokes or the claims that it's Muslims that are bombing others, that are bloodthirsty. Since World War II, America has bombed 30 countries. 30! Don't even want to play this, but look, MAGA pastor Hank Cornerman claimed that God endorsed the US capture of Venezuelan president, saying God spoke to him and declared divine intervention to purge nations of demonic strongholds and pour out the oil of his spirit on the next generation, bringing great liberty to Latin America. What a joke. What a joke. Yeah, where are the Christians speaking out against this?
Let's talk about Greenland in 20 days. On Venezuela.
Let's talk about Greenland in 20 days.
By the way,
mad.
I will say this about Greenland. We need Greenland from a national security situation.
You can say that about any country. National security. Yeah, Canada, national security. Where does it stop? And the thing is, the UK can't say anything because the UK is so in bed with the US. If the US stepped away from the UK would struggle. The Five Eyes, where they exchange intelligence from the NHS, the pills that they get from America, the UK is dependent upon America. It's the same with a lot of these countries. Yeah, a lot of these European countries. America has entrenched itself. So you're not going to be hearing them speaking out very much. This was on Sky. Listen to this.
Much time for over the years. And if he does want to send in his forces here, you have to ask, what's going to stop him?
What's going to stop him? Who's going to stop him? No one. No one. No one's going to stop them.
Venezuela is very sick. Colombia is very sick too, run by a sick man who likes making cocaine and selling it to the United States. And he's not going to be doing it.
Yes, but the United States apparently is buying cocaine. You said he's selling it to the United States, so the United States must also be sick because they're purchasing cocaine from Colombia. Like, they want to keep all the countries that are nearby under their control, and they're not. Cuba, I didn't even mention Cuba. Cuba's the most obvious one. Yeah, since day one, it's been against America. The tides have turned. Don't be coming to us telling us, you guys love bloodshed. You guys love imperialism. Your prophet was a shut up. Shut up. With all due respect, America is a majority Christian country. Russia is a majority Christian country. Ukraine is a majority Christian country. Venezuela is a majority Christian country. So is Cuba. So is Colombia. These are all Christian countries fighting each other. I can ask you the same question. Do they love fighting each other? Are they getting it from the Bible? You've got a pastor saying, yes. Yeah, God is telling us to do this. When George W. Bush invaded Iraq, what did he say? God told me to end the tyranny in Iraq. Which God? Apparently it's a triune God, Jesus. I thought Jesus was about peace. So two can play at that game, ladies and gentlemen, yeah? But obviously, as Muslims, we don't blame the scripture. We don't blame Christianity. You know what I mean? But when these people do the attack, they have their own version of Allahu Akbar. That's, yeah, God told me to do it. Let's leave it there, guys. Until next time. Assalamu alaikum.